What's up, what's up? It's Eric Haas with the Haas Group at Douglas Elliman in Southern California. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I'm here today to keep you dialed in on what's going on in the market in Los Angeles, California, specifically the coastal markets. So before we get dialed in, obviously, what the F is going on with coronavirus? Obviously, a lot of things are being impacted. Obviously, there's plenty of things being closed down, restaurants, schools. We're in a national state of emergency, and guess what? There's no real answer out there. Well, good news and bad news. Here's the interesting news, to put it this way. For the market right now, we're gonna be looking at numbers that are actually 30 to 45 days old. And you're probably like, why are you telling me this, Eric? Well, I'm sharing this with you because that's when these last properties that just recently closed opened up their contracts. So it's been a 30 to 45 day process that they've been in escrow and going through those contingency processes and due diligences and loan processes and what have you. And we've gotten to that point now where that information is now public and those properties have sold. So without further ado, we're going to look at what's going on coastal on the west side, and specifically looking at Mar Vista, Venice, and Santa Monica. So let's dive right on in. So what are we looking at in the 90066? Well, Mar Vista is still looking pretty solid. I mean, our median price has consistently gone up, actually skyrocketed since Q3 by basically about 6%. A little bit of a slowdown as a recent result of some uncertainty what's going on in the market, but overall a 6% increase since Q3. That takes us back to the end of October. That's massive, massive, massive increase, which is fantastic. So that basically took our median price from $1,550,000 to $1,650,000. So that takes median price, as I said, up 6%. Fantastic. So it doesn't really look like there's really going to be any change inside. I look at inventory all the time, every single day, to see if there's been any real changes. And to be honest, the real major change was about last year in November, when there was about 66 homes for sale. And then we trickled into that December holiday month where homes dropped down to only 22 homes for sale. But that number has consistently gone up, and we're about 41 homes for sale right now. So what is also interesting, though, is the sold inventory has actually dropped. It's dropped by 44%. So what does that really mean? Well, in Q4, we had a total of 90 homes selling. 90, yeah, that's a big number, and especially for Q4 when it's usually a much more of a slower month. But overall, it was killing it. And now we're down to currently about 50 homes for sale. We have a couple more weeks in this quarter to go, but everything is looking promising to continue up a little bit more, but we'll see how, the coronavirus is impacting. So in order to figure all that out too, make sure that you stay dialed in with my channel, and make sure you subscribe, leave a comment below, leave questions. I'm more than happy to answer anything and everything. Also got resources and phone numbers that I can connect you with as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out. This is what I'm here for. I'm here for you. I'm here to make it all happen for you and keep you comfortable and not going crazy, because honestly, anything out of our control is not worth worrying about. So let's focus in on what we can control, and obviously I'm going to keep you dialed in for that. So back on track, we're looking at number of solds. As I mentioned, that is dropped 44%. But overall, we've had a great steady increase in our price per square foot. We've got a 5% increase since Q4, taking us from the $901 price per square foot to currently $951 a square foot. I can think that might be attributable to the fact that we've had a less number of homes selling, usually with a greater number of homes that have sold. That kind of dwindles down the average price per square foot a little bit. So a little bit less supply as far as what has been sold, so that has contributed to a little bit slighter increase in our price per square foot. Moving on, let's take a look at Venice. Now, Venice has had some issues of its own lately, and Mar Vista's had a little bit of as well, but more prominent in Venice is the homeless issue. Now, capitalize that on top of it with the coronavirus, and you got a double whammy hitting Venice right now. However, that really doesn't speak to what the market is doing there. To be honest, there's 11% increase in the median price, which actually took us from $2,061,000 in Q4 to our current median price of $2,325,000. Now, our current inventory has pretty much stayed the same, 75 homes for sale. And a little bit of a trend that's been happening in Mar Vista, more so in Venice, is, well, if we don't get the right price the first time around, let's just cancel, reduce, and relist, and no one will know. Well, that does work and that doesn't work. Obviously, you're losing money by taking yourself out of the game and relisting at a price that you probably should have been at in the first place. But nonetheless, median prices up in Venice, which is great. So not too much of an impact going on right now as far as the coronavirus, more so along the homeless lines, but that is being dealt with as well. As far as sold inventory goes, compared to quarter 4, we're at a 23% decrease. So 23% decrease down now. Obviously, a lot of people are nervous. Market's volatile. People might be sitting on the sidelines a little bit. Also, as I mentioned before, there is a tendency to overprice in the Venice market right now. So again, that trend of cancel, reduce, and relist is very prominent. So don't be surprised if you see, the homes not flying off the market as readily as they normally would in a seller's market. It's still very much a seller's market, but we're going to have to adapt a bit with our strategies and how we're going to effectively sell homes. But moving on, let's take a look at that price per square foot. It is actually down 3%. So it's down 3%. I'm sorry about that. That is up 5%. My bad, guys. So down 3% in Venice, which actually took us down from $12.37 to $11.99. Can't really say what that's attributed to. Just want to keep you dialed in with the numbers though. Moving on to Santa Monica. Santa Monica has had pretty steady, good traffic with buyer and seller interaction. I mean, especially with the Sunset Park and Ocean Park markets, things just fly off the market. With respects to, say, north of Montana, a little bit different scenario, different price points, and that's leading to, less buyers for that pool of inventory, whereas the Ocean Park and Sunset Park is more of a but it is more affordable per se compared to north of Montana. Nonetheless though, as I'm saying that, we've actually seen our first decrease in a market. So Santa Monica has actually experienced a 19% decrease in its median home price, which is actually taking it down from $3,085,000 to $2,504,000. So that is a very steep drop. It's one of the first markets that I've really encountered and that I work in that really has experienced a drop like that. Could it be attributable to coronavirus? Again, as I mentioned to you, this is a 30 to 45 day back in time data, so that we're still trying to figure out what's going to be the true impact. But right now we're seeing a decrease in the median price. However, at the same time, we're looking at a drop in sold inventory as well as 29% decrease in the number of homes. So that has actually dropped from 44 homes selling in quarter 4 to 31 homes currently sold in quarter 1. Now that we have plenty of time still, there's 2 weeks to go. That 9 houses could eventually get caught up to, and we could see it surpassing the 40 mark, but not sure if it's going to get there. Price per square foot is also down, but down a whopping 21%. And that all goes in line with what's happening in the market overall for Santa Monica. That quarter 4 price per square foot was at $1,513 a square foot. As I mentioned, that decrease of 21% has taken us down to $1,185. Now, here's the thing. Is it still a good time to sell? Is it still a good time to buy? Well, things are still transacting and people are buying and selling. Outside of the west side market, I've heard other stories. I've heard negotiations with respect to prices that have already been agreed to being topic of conversation now. And if they don't get the change or reduction, with consideration to what we're experiencing in the marketplace, a lot of these buyers are walking. A lot of buyers, as I mentioned, are keeping their money with themselves rather than tying it up in, say, buying real estate. However, at the same time, if you're in a position, you may be able to score a great deal. And there are opportunities out there as well. But overall, the market right now on the west side, with respects to, say, Vista, Venice, and Santa Monica, we're pretty much experiencing what we normally experience in our marketplace. A little bit of lull in wintertime and then a spring to action, come March. And obviously, tonight is the beginning of spring. So as we catapult from winter into spring, we're going to see a strong surge usually of inventory coming on the market, buyers coming out of the woodwork from the quieter times of the winter market. But you know what? We'll see what happens. We got coronavirus and a lot of things impacting the way buyers are seeing properties now. Open houses aren't happening the way they used to. And based on that raw fact right there, there's going to be different strategies that are going to be implemented so that we can still sell homes and actually still make a living. So on that note, please stay connected. Please stay dialed in. I'm going to actually take you through some strategies and ideas and tips for exactly how to market your home if you're still planning on making that change this year. And still, it's a good time. It's just revamping how we're going to do the strategy. And I'll get you dialed in on that, no problem. But in the meantime, please take care of yourself, stay healthy, respond to all those reports, and do your due diligence with respects to what everyone's telling you. Obviously, you've been ingrained with a bunch of information with respects to on what you should do with hand washing and all the yada. I'm here to keep you dialed in on the market and what's going on. So please don't hesitate again to subscribe, comment below, and I'd love to hear from you soon. We'll see you.